Put it in your mouth!
Alright guys, steak salad. This is like one of my, I don't eat a lot of red meat, so when I do, I like to go big, and it sounds kind of crazy because I know steak salad, it's like, oh, steak salad, but this is an amazing steak salad. So go to your butcher and ask them to give you a nice, fat, meaty tube steak. This is a tube steak in case you haven't seen one before. Just kidding, it's actually Hangar Steak. Hangar Steak is one of my favorites. It's very fibrous. I don't know if you can see this. It's, I'll pull it close to the camera. It's got like, it's very fibrous. It's got a little bit of fat on it, but it's just like a really thick steak. Super flavorful. From what I understand, there's only one steak per cow. It's like, I'm not really sure. I think it's like by the brisket but there's only one per cow. If you can't get Hangar Steak, don't worry. Skirt steak, flank steak. I mean, you can pretty much make this with any steak that you love. I tend to like the more, like I said, fibrous steaks that are like the skirt steak or the flank steak. So, I'm not sure this is like total protocol, but I like to do it. Just a little bit of olive oil. Rub it around. Turn it over. Kind of try to get it on all the sides. Not a lot, just enough to kind of give it a little coating. Cast iron skillet. So I'm gonna move this over. If you can, heat it up slowly for like 20-30 minutes because they don't really distribute heat very evenly. So it's best to kind of get them going and just kind of let them go on a slow heat. And once you see it smoking, you can crank it up and then throw the steak on. Season these pretty generously. This is just kosher salt. And of course, fresh ground pepper. Hangar steaks are kind of, have a unique anatomy to them. It's almost like they have like 3.5, 4 sides. And these fibrous steaks take, you know, like if this was a filet, I'd be like 2 minutes per side, maybe 3. It's weird, these fibrous steaks, they're gonna go probably 3 or 4 minutes per side. So if they have 4 sides, you're looking at 16 minutes, and you're gonna think, oh my God, what are you talking about? That's gonna be totally overdone. You cut into them and you're like, it's not quite done. It's kind of crazy. Turn that over. So season this side. Oh, I forgot that I had a drink here. Hold on. So tonight I am drinking one of my favorite cocktails, the Vesper, which if you've watched us enough, you know this is James Bond's original cocktail. If you want the recipe, go right here. Let's see here, those look pretty good, maybe a little bit more. And then for the sides, I'll just kind of rub them around. I'm gonna crank this baby up now, all the way up. Turn your vent on because it's gonna get smoky. So this is nice and smoky now, as you can see. We'll throw our steak on. We're gonna put these down. They're going well. Let these just sit. You know, I'm gonna actually use a timer. I'll probably do 4 minutes aside. I'll do this guy, this little thin guy, for 8 minutes. And probably these 2 larger ones for 12 to 16. So I'll bring you guys back once the steak's ready to pull off and rest. Set my timer. Alright guys, so this one went about, oh, there goes my timer. This was like 10 minutes, these are 12, which I know sounds crazy. But I pulled this one off and you're gonna see it's like, it's already bleeding, it's like, it's not overcooked. So pull these babies off, and of course you're gonna wanna temp these. Look at how awesome those look. You guys, I don't eat a lot of red meat, so when you do eat red meat, try to eat good red meat. Try to go get it from, you know, a local place. Don't just haphazardly buy meat if you can. I know it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, whatever, it's expensive. I don't eat a lot, so when I do eat it, I try to make sure that I'm doing it consciously and that I'm doing it in the right way that's good for the environment. Oh, so tent your steaks, and you don't want to like cover them and be like, oh, I'm going to create a little house for them and make them like totally compact. Literally, take a piece of foil, drop it on top. That's it. Don't get crazy about it. It just needs to rest. And honestly, with steak for a salad, I mean, if you're having people over and you're like on a timeline, this can rest for 45 minutes. The longer it rests, the better, because it just like draws everything back into it. So if you're making a steak salad, I say do this at like 4 o'clock. Your guests come over at 6, you eat at 8. Everything is good to go. That's the beauty about having salads. If you're doing like a steak dinner, give yourself like, I almost want to say an hour, because you don't want to feel rushed. So if you're like off schedule, grill the steaks, put them on a platter, cover them. People are going to be happy they're done right as opposed to warm. I'd much rather have a steak that was done right and a little bit cold than a steak that was warm and was overcooked. So don't be afraid to just chill out and rest. Steak salad, Cabernet Sauvignon, or I mean whatever you like. Cote Round's probably good, something lighter. We're in the middle of winter right now, so Cab sounds kind of cozy and good. But I mean, whatever you like to drink, it goes with steak. Something a little more acidic. This is a local one, Mosquito Fleet Winery, which I love. Love it. Okay, so I'm making dinner for 5 people tonight. Hence all the steak. But I'm only going to show you how to do it for one. And this is my steak. It's a perfect resting place for my salad bowl. All you need to do with this is arugula, which in my opinion, I love arugula. I can just eat it by the handful. It's delicious. It's peppery. It's I just love it. I like to salt my salad just a little bit. Just, you know, give it a little bit of flavor. I put pepperoncino on everything, crushed red pepper, because I love it. A little bit of fresh ground pepper. Oh, I think that means my steak is done resting. Perfect timing. Oh, I just saw my truffle oil. I like truffle with steak, so I'm going to add a little truffle oil too. All right. So, truffle oil, olive oil. If you're dressing a salad, use good olive oil. And this is just balsamic vinegar. I love balsamic, so I just give it a good shake. Like I said, this is a huge salad for 5 people. Give it a toss. And as always, like, kind of go light, and then if you want to add more, you can. But if you add too much, you're over the top, and you're going to overdress it, and no one loves that. And this salad's all really about the steak and the avocado and the blue cheese. So just give it a good toss. If it looks coated, which I think that does, you're good to go. All right. So the steak, voila. And if it was middle of summer, I would do this outside on the grill, but we did it inside, which is great. So I'm gonna actually pull, you can see that, and like I said, I cooked these steaks for like 16 minutes, and you would have thought, oh my God, they're overcooked. Oh my God, it's delicious, but they're not. So, slice kind of on a bias, and you always go against the grain of the meat. You can just see like the juice is just pouring out. I'm only going to slice enough steak for one salad, but what I generally do with this is I will slice all of it. I'll put it in a bowl and I'll drain. I have this cutting board that has this ridge here. Drain all the blood back into the bowl, mix it up, because that's all flavor. Hangar steak's the best for me for salads, but skirt steak, flank steak, whatever you like. But this is an amazing cut of meat. Get your bowl. Get your salad. That's probably a good amount. I'm gonna push this aside. And I'm gonna throw this steak on top. And this is a pretty simple salad. And it's super delicious. And all right, red onions. Yum. Avocado. Slice it in half. I usually do a half an avocado per person. Pull it out. I'm going to use a smaller knife. Doop, doop, doop. Turn it out. It's all sliced up already. And then some blue cheese. Every grocery store you go to, they have a cheesemonger. So ask your cheesemonger, like, I'm making a steak salad. I want to crumble it. I like stinky cheese, so I was like, what's the stinkiest, crumbliest cheese I can use? He told me, this is it. I already tasted it, it's amazing. So a little bit of cheese, or a lot, because I love cheese. And the last piece is the poached egg. We put that on top. How awesome is that? Now, I mean, you can always fancy it up. Little olive oil, just to make it special. Little pepper. I think that's good. And I'm gonna get into this now. So, steak salad. Watch this. Oh my God. It's the best thing ever. And you kind of want to incorporate that into the salad so it's like part of the dressing. Let me get a bit of the arugula, the red onion, the steak, and the avocado. I'm in heaven, but let's take it to the next level. Sip of wine. That's all I need. It's fucking awesome. Steak salad.
Bravo! We want to eat. Where's our steak salad?
Put it in your mouth.
Nice job.
How about put it in our mouths?
No. Where's this wine you're speaking